I've been dragged by my job responsibilities to an undisclosed location here in Bukit Jalil to check out Proton's first all-new sedan since the Geely partnership. Behind me is the Proton S70 Flagship X, and let's go check it out. Now, despite having the 70 designation in its name, this C-segment sedan actually shares its platform with the X50 and not with the bigger Proton X70. There are 4 variants of the Proton S70 on offer, and all 4 get a 1.5-litre multi-port injection, turbocharged 3-cylinder engine producing 148 horsepower and 223 Nm of torque. Unfortunately, the Proton S70 doesn't get the more powerful 1.5-litre direct injection 3-cylinder turbocharged engine from the Proton X50 flagship. Whoa, this thing is heavy! It is paired with a 7-speed wet dual-clutch transmission, and Proton says that this front-wheel drive sedan can go from 0 to 100 km an hour in under 10 seconds. Aesthetically, the only difference between the Proton S70 and the Geely M Grand, which this is based on, is Proton's infinite weave design on the grille. You get full LED headlights with this 3-sectioned LED daytime running lights, and you also get a cool animation when you lock and unlock the car. Around the sides, the Proton S70 Flagship X gets a 17-inch dual-tone alloy wheels. Now, you do get a keyless entry system, but you only get it on the driver's side door. There's none on the passenger's side. Moreover, you also get a traditional button system rather than the touch sensor, which you can find on the Proton X50, X70 and X90. Around the back, you get LED taillights and an LED strip connecting an LED light bar in between them. Proton says 190 LEDs are used in the taillight lighting. Opening the boot lid, there's a massive 500 liters of cargo space. And you can even fold the rear seats down in a 60-40 configuration to get even more cargo space. On the inside, you get a modern and simple design with almost all the functions located on the infotainment system, which is currently not turned on. The infotainment system measures 12.3 inches and runs on Proton's Atlas operating system. It also has native support for Spotify and Joox for streaming music, and Shock for live radio and podcasts, and also it supports navigation. What it does not support is Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. But depending on who you are, this may be a disadvantage or an advantage. If you're coming from your parents' car and you have used those systems, then you will sorely miss it. But if you have never experienced Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, then I guess you'll be fine. The driver gets a 10.3-inch instrument cluster with customizable information and a flat bottom steering wheel. The driver also gets 6-way power adjustment for the driver's seat. There are only a couple of physical buttons on the dashboard, like to adjust the temperature, the fan speed, and to put the air conditioning into auto mode. Besides that, all other controls are located on the infotainment system, and I mean all. Your passenger wants to change the volume, you want to open the sunroof, you want to change the drive modes between Sport, Eco and Comfort, you have to dig through menus in the infotainment system to get that changed. Moving down to the center console, you get a wireless charger here, a couple of USB ports underneath the center console, you get the electronic parking brake, auto hold, a couple of cup holders and some storage under the center console. One cool feature is that you can remove one of the cup holders to increase the space you get under the center armrest. Here in the back seats, this seat is set to my driving position, and as you can see, I have almost a little legroom left. Headroom is still alright, I guess. I have lowered the seats all the way down for my comfortable sitting position, and I no longer have space to slot my feet underneath, which is being quite uncomfortable. You get rear aircon vents, a USB-C port and a USB-A port. There's also a center armrest with 2 molded cup holders, but there's no cover for the cup holders, so your elbow might go into it, but that's fine, I guess. Overall, it's an okay space to spend for short journeys, but I think for someone as tall as me, long distances will be quite a struggle, especially if you have a tall driver sitting in front who has lowered his seats all the way down. There's no space for my feet. As for safety, the Proton S70 Flagship X comes with a whole host of passive and active driver assistance system, which uses a single camera system. There are no stereoscopic cameras or radar modules. Anyway, here's the list. Finally, we come to the pricing. The Proton S70 Flagship X goes for 94,800 ringgit, while the Proton S70 flagship goes for 89,800 ringgit. Now, the difference between these two variants is just the option of the sunroof, and that's all you're paying extra for between the flagship and flagship X variant. The Proton S70 Premium goes for 79,800 ringgit and the entry-level Proton S70 Executive goes for 73,800 ringgit. For more information on the Proton S70 as well as the packages on offer, you can read Chapi's article over at soychichao.com. Well, that's the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and now I need to find the exit and get back to the office so I can catch you guys in the next one. Ciao!